747, turn right, heading 185, reduce speed 180 knots.
185 on the heading, 180 on the seatbelt there, 007.
Speedbird 124, reduce speed 160 knots to 40 ME.
Reduce 160 to 4, speed 124.
Hello there guys, Matt here, hope you are all well. Long time no speak, or see, although there's no camera so I guess it's not see. But welcome back to another P3D video. I almost feel like I've neglected my YouTube channel unintentionally, kind of Christmas and then the New Year, and before I knew it I was headfirst into a bunch of work-related stuff, and now we are here in the beginning of February and still nothing, so I figured I would rectify that because I had a plane that needed to be taken back to its base in Heathrow on projectFLY, and I was going to do it overnight on stream, but instead I figured I'd make a video. So I hope everyone has been doing well. I hope you've not missed me too much. The chance would be a fine thing. A lot has changed in terms of add-on availability and stuff like that since I really was making videos on the regular. And I honestly cannot remember what I've gone through and what I haven't. So if what I start to say is repetitive from previous video, then I apologize, but usually when I don't say what I'm using, people tend to get a little bit angry and a little bit upset that I'm keeping some sort of secret from them, which is very weird. And I just noticed my doors on the right hand side are open. Let me fix that. So today we are going to be flying this monster, 747-400 with the RB211 engines, Rolls-Royce engines, from here at Phoenix, Arizona, back to Heathrow. Speedbird 288, call sign might be different, BA288. We'll actually have a look on projectFLY right now. And we'll book it really quick just to make sure I've got the right call sign and the right number. So Phoenix, Heathrow. Yeah, there you go, BA288. It actually goes out at 3:45 AM my time. That's not happening because I have to be up tomorrow. So we'll just pretend it's 3:45. Ironically, the real one's using, or one of the real ones used CIVJ, which is the exact reg I've got on the sim. So we'll book that, BA288, Speedbird 38 Papa, schedule IFR, we'll just search for, actually, we'll search for CIVJ. There it is. I'm not going to go on VATSIM, I'm just going to go offline, and that noise you just heard then is some AI traffic spawning in next to me. We'll book and dispatch it, we'll head over to PFPX, and we will get a route for the way back. I don't know where that AI noise is coming from, but it's very, very loud. I'm running Ultimate Traffic 2, you can see the American Eagle CRJ over there just taxiing, so at least there's going to be some noise and background movement, it won't just be completely empty. Okay, so PFPX. Really straightforward. BA288, Speedbird 38. Was it 38 Papa or 33 Papa? 38 Papa. Perfect. From Phoenix to Heathrow. We'll look for CIVJ in the list. There it is. And then we can randomize the payload. I don't know what's going on with this map here. It's a bit bugged out for me, but there you go. Find destination alternates. We're going to use Gatwick, so I'll throw Gatwick in there, and then they can just find. They can find an alternative route. There you go. Done. And then find route all the way back. Let's see. So it's actually not that northerly, to be fair. departing basically to the northeast, up over the top of Denver, then up through Minneapolis, up towards Winnipeg, Montreal, a little bit of Gander, a little bit of Greenland, Shamwick, Shannon, or Scottish really, then Shannon, and then into Heathrow. It's going to take estimated en route time of 11 hours 30 minutes, which is not the case. I don't know what EET... Oh, no, actually, I think that's EET of fuel. I think the actual time is 9:30. But anyway, we'll compute it. It's got a warning. Upper wind forecast validity issue. It's interesting. It's fine, though. I think it's just because of the timings. Alright, let's print that out. Let's get it sent away to the various places, and then we'll get on with loading everything up. Okay, so I've got the flight number, flight plan, call sign, paste this route in the projectFLY, press fly now. We should appear on the radar. 420 people flying, blaze it. We will appear at some place on the ground. We could zoom right in and eventually we would appear. We'll save that for in a bit. Okay, so 747 operations I don't pretend to know much about, but I know enough to get it from A to B, and there is definitely a per airline way of doing things. They call them SOPs, standard operating procedures. Every airline is different, and I always get comments from people in my videos saying, oh, you did this wrong, or you did this wrong. You have some degree of, well, not really being correct, but let's just say what you've seen to be true is true for a specific airline. Beyond that, it really is at your own discretion. This is really awkward. I just noticed something. So these guys are trying to depart from this runway here. So what? The west runway, runway 26. And that southwest just landed on the other runway. This is the problem with AI traffic. I'm going to reset it and just hope that they figure themselves out. Because that's very weird. That's very weird. I don't know why it would do that. Apparently there's... What's this status board? I mean, it shows you what's happening, but it doesn't really do any more than that. Whatever. We'll deal with it as and when. We might just disable it. Okay, so, yeah, as I was saying, each to their own. As long as you can get the aircraft from A to B, who's judging? Not me. Do you, as the saying goes. So, if only you could load the 7.4 or in any PMDG products that are, or that is even, via the same way as you could do it with like the FS Labs, where you put in a predict or a weight you want it to be at and fuel you want to have, and then it could do it for you like it does with the Airbus, but it doesn't do that. So we just have to put it in as is. So zero fuel weight, 238.4 tons, and the fuel going back is a grand total of 104.8, which will give us 10 hours 31 minutes of flying. I'll just take 105. It's a very short taxi out, so that's fine. Right, that's done. Overhead panel. IRS's to nav. ECs are already on. We're on external power at the moment, which is fine. Everything else is good. Make sure we got lights. We do. So we can open up this FMC. And we got a pause in it. And K Phoenix Bravo 25. No idea if it'll accept Bravo 25. No, it will not. Doesn't matter though. Route. And this is where the fun part comes in now. they changed the system as far as how the company route selection works. Now they're using a proper ACARS method since the 748 came out. So you used to be able to just either put the company route in or select the route like this. Let's see. Let's find it. Phoenix, PHX, Heathrow, like this. And then select. Now you can see that when I do this, nothing happens. And the reason for it is you need to do a couple of extra steps. So you have to put in the call sign, like so. And then you have to go into the third FMS, go to ACARS, and then pre-flight. And you'll see now there's more to fill in. So with this, you now need to do a few things. You need to put in the ETE, so the estimated time en route, which for today's flight is 9 hours and 2 minutes. And then you need to put the airline ID in, which is just the airline IATA, as far as I'm aware. Estimated time of departure in UTC, well, right now it's 21:36, so we'll go for 2200. And then, once that's done, this route select will turn into a route request, or request send. Then you hit that, and then you request it, and you'll see request sending. That is the only way you can load company routes in, as far as I can see. I am going to assume it's how they do it, IRL. It would make sense to model something that is used in real life. I would hope so. And then once it's loaded, you can just load it in like so. And we're pretty much good to go from there. Right. Now that explanation is out of the way, we can have a look at the wind. The wind is actually favoring runway 26. So 270 degrees, 15 knots. So we can use runway 26, and we are departing via the Silo 4. Well, to all intents and purposes, we're departing via the Silo 4. I've noticed PFPX gives sometimes a Delta Victor Charlie transition. Gives sometimes, when you're flying like a 747, it'll give you a turboprop only SID or star, and it's pretty embarrassing. I flew to Orlando the other week from Manchester, and everything was great. All of a sudden, it became really busy towards I was just north of Jacksonville, and called up Jacksonville, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you're flying a turboprop only arrival, so we need to reroute you." And it's not nice, you know. When it's that busy on VATSIM, you don't want to be having to mess around with reroutes and stuff like that can be preventable by actually filing the correct routing. So, anyway, we'll do that. We'll copy the route for now, and we will go to the VNAV page. Actually, no, we won't. We'll go to the init ref page, and we'll put the 0 fuel weight in. The reserves are looking to be 10.9. 10.9. The cost index, 99. Cruise altitude of flight level 320. We'll zero that out. It's going to say insufficient fuel for now. Don't worry about it. I guess actually until everything is good to go, you should probably put the reserve as 0, but whatever. So legs page, we need to put some steps in. So first of all, the first one is at Juliet November Charlie, and it's up to 330. I guess that's just a change of direction or some sort of RVSM meme. And then sometimes this happens, a step descent, I guess winds, etc. So we're going down to 310 at Hotel Mike Lima. 350 at Yankee Victor Papa. And then we're basically at 350 until 40 West, which I'm pretty sure is on the other page. Here it is. And then we go to 370 at 40 West. And 370 then takes us all the way to Heathrow. So there's no further climbing or descending until we are ready to land. So we can go to route data now and send the request. And that will load the winds in. That should get rid of the insufficient fuel. If it doesn't, then we, well, we have a problem. Today would be nice. There we go. Load the wind data in. Sorted. And descent forecast. We can throw that in as well. Now I know the transition Heathrow is. Oh, it's already in there. 6-0. Perfect. Load that in. Right. Let's go back to the climb page. So, at the moment, this is climbing on cost index 99. So, from what I remember, you can actually make this climb on cost index 0, which is far more efficient. So you take the speed, which is 0.841, which is the speed after transition. And you can just remember that. And then you can go back here, and then if you press perf and then set the cost index to 0 and go back, then you'll see it'll recalculate the 329, right? So 329, but you don't want to slow to 828. You want to go to 84. And that is basically how you climb with cost index 0. I don't know why they do it. I don't really care. I don't really care why they do it. I'm going to cruise at 84 as well. And then we can go back and we can set this back to 99, and it won't affect that VNAV climb path now. Well, it will, but it's still at 0 because we hard-coded it to do that. So we're going to land into Heathrow at 6:41 AM, which is perfect for me. 13.4 tons. We've not put the arrival in. Basically good to go. So, thrust limit. Supposedly, we are going to be derating to 55 degrees. There you go, 1.61 EPA. Flap 20. And then all the thousands. The surface wind is a headwind of 15 knots. It's dry. The trim we can just throw in there. And then I always take the PMDG speeds because they program the plane, so you'd think that it would work to their favor. So V2 170, we'll throw that in. And I don't know the runway heading just yet or the initial altitude, but we'll spin it for about 260. And it seems like 90% of airfields have an initial climb of 5,000 in the US for some reason. So we'll leave that on that side. Legs can stay on that side. I'm pretty happy with that. Flight directors, LNAV, VNAV armed, auto brake, RTO. Set the transponder to 2000. Turn it on. Seatbelt signs, no smoking signs, the usual spiel. And I am basically in a pretty good position to get underway. So I'll turn on all the fuel pumps. I'll also make sure that we don't have any in the center, which we do not, so the center pumps can remain off. We can actually now close up the doors. So we'll do that. I need to disarm them before I can arm them because I opened one door. There we go. And we will get a quick look outside. And we will see if we're good to push back, which we are. So we want to go nose right, tail left. We don't want to start the engines before pushback. There goes the jet bridge, which is powered by SOD. And we can turn on the APU. Just turn on the packs for now, because it's going to be pretty warm here. Actually, what's the temperature? I'm completely lying. It's 12 degrees. Forget I said anything. Alright, while the APU is firing up, we can just whiz across to the charts and see if we've got everything right. So, Phoenix. Let them download. This is you can see the loader on the thing. It takes so long. I don't know why. And then we want to look at the airport layout, just to check the runway heading of 26, which is here, so 258. Just adjust that to 258, and we'll also look at the SID, which was the Silo 4. Silo 4, 8,000 feet is the top altitude, so I was wrong about that. And does it say anything about... Okay, so radar and DME required, restricted to turbojet and turboprop aircraft only. Perfect. So it is out of here, radar vectors to Tom, then Happen, Silo, right turn to Winslow, and then left to Dove Creek. That's our transition. Easy. Actually, runway 26, climb heading 258 to 1550, then turn right heading 260. At DME 9 west of the PXR VOR, which is Phoenix. Turn right heading 360. So, the only thing we need to do is make sure that we've got the Papa X-Ray Romeo VOR and wait for 9D and turn right, and we're good. Quick look at the taxiways. So we're parked right here, concourse or terminal 4, short of wherever, well, short of Romeo basically, and it's just straight ahead. Very, very, very short taxi. So I don't know actually in real life how they would like how quickly they would do the safety video and stuff, but I'd imagine they wouldn't mess around. Okay, APU's on, and we can get rid of all of the ground stuff now. Parking brake set, remove the chocks. We can look at the engine page now. I just put PXR in, so we've got a DME readout. That's all I care about. TCAS is on, data, TCAS on the other side, data and terrain, and of course the beacon light, and that's it. Once the GPU is out of the way, which you can just see it being towed away now, we can pressurize the hydraulics, or at least 2 of the pumps, and we can push back. Let's go back to the takeoff page like so. Release the parking brake, start the timer, and away we go. Now we can get 1 FPS. That's really nice. In a minute it'll stop doing that. I had that before actually. All of a sudden it'll just go bing and it'll be fine. There you go, done. Weird. Let's turn off the packs, all of them. The switches to start. The auto start is on. So we can pull 3 and 4. And you'll see straight away they come alive. And the N3 is moving, as is the N2 and the N1. I don't have a wing view forward of the engine on the right hand side. Oh, what is with this FPS when I switch back to the cockpit? That's so weird. Just fly the entire flight from the cockpit, right? Turn the sound up a little bit. Okay, cut out on 3 and 4, so we'll start 1 and 2. Nice. When the engine goes straight through the staircase. I think it actually missed it. Oh no, it didn't. Never mind. Okay, parking brake set. We should have all 4 engines started. Turn the packs back on. Put the other demand pumps back to auto. You can hit the status page and we can put the flaps to 20. The weather radar can go on. Probably fry the ground crew a little bit, but I'm sure they'll forgive us. Or you can do a control check, so look at the back of the wing, full left, full right, and then we can look full up, full down, rudder all the way. Oh no, why is the rudder not working? Okay, I've actually now just spent 10 minutes fixing my rudder pedals, which I can now do a rudder check, so left and right. And the trim is 6.3, so just a little bit of up trim, nothing too much. There we go. Right, okay, so we can turn off the APU, we don't need it anymore. And we can just clear the lower screen like so. You can go straight to TARA as we are just literally taxiing forward and off. Left is clear. We'll put on the... just throw the turn off lights on, to be honest. BA apparently don't have taxi lights. And away we go. Pretty heavy. Story of my life. So we're basically cutting straight across there. And then we're good to go. So, a quick rain check on add-ons. Excuse me, PMDG 747 chase plane for the camera. The 747 immersion pack for the effects that you may or may not see depending on the weather conditions. Active Sky for the weather. not FS Stream Team, Flightbeam Phoenix. And then Ultimate Traffic Live for the AI. If you see any scenery in the departure that isn't airport scenery, that will belong to Orbx. And that's just the Orbx and the North America LC, I think it is. It's the LC for America, none of the regions though. And the mesh, which makes the definition of the mountains and stuff like that, that is by Pilots Software FTX. Like Global it's called. It's a bit of a rip-off name from Orbx, but it's way, way better. Okay, so we are lining up on runway 26. Perfect. What a lineup. Okay. All the lights. People often ask how you can get all the lights on. Middle mouse button on any of the light switches. Now we are under, actually we're over 300 tons, which means the packs apparently have to come off. Our takeoff weight is 342 tons. So We'll start the timer. Everything looks good. Let's go to Heathrow. Okay, we're looking at 1.61 EPA. Power's coming in. There it is. Power set. There's 80 knots. Wind is basically right across the runway at 15 knots, so we'll anticipate that on the rotation. Lots of rattling. There's V1. Alright, rotate. Very slowly, like 3 or 4 degrees a second, something stupid like that. There we go. Positive rate. Gear up. Tap the brakes. I have this stupid gimbal thing on, which I forgot to turn off, hence why the camera went up. It's like you have a gimbal on a drone or something. Alright. Looking good. There is climb thrust. So, 260 on the heading select. And we fly this to 9 DME from Papa X-Ray Romeo. It's 4.5 to go. Alright, speed for flap 10, so flap 10. Quick look out the window, the textures will load. Beautiful. Alright, flap 5. And we'll throw the packs back on now. Flap 1. I'm not even touching the controls here, it's perfectly trimmed. And flaps up. Alright, put the autopilot in. 8 miles, start the turn now. 360 on the heading. Around the corner we go. I'm not sure if I like this gimbal. I might turn it off for the landing. The range on the ND. We will go direct to thumb. And we'll take LNAV. Gear can go to the off position. Auto brake is already off. And we'll turn off the turn off lights. The rest can stay on for now. See some aircraft on TCAS over Thumb. But that's, I mean, Thumb is 40 miles away, so the chance of actually being able to see those is pretty slim. I'll have a look though, see if we can spot them. And there's Phoenix in the background, looking rather... Okay, it's just loaded in. The shadow of the 7.4. That's a shadow to be proud of right there as a pilot. See the 4 engines. What a beast. What an absolute beast. I don't know why it's telling us we're in transit. Oh, I forgot to change the transition. God damn it. Alright, there we go. Okay, we're going to go all the way up to flight level 310. We're already climbing direct anyway, so we don't need to do anything else. beautiful scenery. I really want to see that plane. Where is it? It's 2,100 feet below us, and it's about 20-ish miles to the right. Come on, it must be there somewhere. It's gone. It's vanished. David Blaine Airlines. Sync up the heading. Passing 10,000. All the lights can go off.